This is exactly how to stop letting your phone control you. And if you are anything like me, sometimes you'll just go on your phone for no particular reason other than boredom and end up scrolling on it for an hour. I used to do this all the time, and the journey to escape my social media addiction and actually start using my phone purposefully took years. Today, I want to tell you a little piece of advice that helped me take my screen time from over 5 hours a day down to 30 minutes. My name is Charlie. My goal is to help other young men overcome their digital addictions, and I want to help you out as well. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you're unhappy with how much time you spend scrolling on social media, or maybe the fact that it seems to control you and you keep on opening your phone unconsciously just out of habit. To help reduce either of these issues, there are 2 steps that I am going to suggest. The first is to develop a mindset of awareness, which is whenever you open your phone, you know exactly what you're going to do on it and you have a reason in your head to go on there. Like, I'm going to message this one person and that's it. But when you first start, you're not going to be able to do that 100% of the time. So the second step is to physically and mechanically limit your access to your cell phone, which I'll explain in a few minutes. Let's start with step 1, which I'm going to call intentional phone use. Back in high school, I developed the unfortunate habit of going on my phone whenever I got bored. This is one of the problems of our modern high dopamine society, which is that boredom, which is a very natural human emotion by the way, has been demonized, and it's bad to be bored and you always have to be constantly stimulated. This leads to unintentional phone use where you open your phone for basically no reason besides stimulation. Or when you do open it for some reason, like to text somebody, you end up staying on it and going onto other apps totally unconsciously. So how do you reverse that and begin to develop intentional phone use instead? You have to become progressively more aware of your thoughts and of your mental boredom, and you have to begin to accept the fact that you're going to be bored and push through it a little bit. You have to progressively fix your attention span little by little. It's like the concept of progressive overload when you're in the gym. When you do your first workout, you can't expect to instantly go in there and start bench pressing 225. You have to work up to it and add more weight each week. If you want to make a change, you're going to have to replace your scrolling habits with things that develop a better attention span and let you have more control over the thoughts in your head. And the number 1 practice I would recommend for achieving these things would be meditation. There's countless YouTube tutorials out there on how to meditate, but as a habit in general, it is great for countering the overstimulation that is present in all of our lives nowadays. That is the number 1 thing I would recommend if your attention span is absolutely cooked and you cannot help but to go on your cell phone a lot. One other note I'd like to add is that if you try this for a couple days and still fail a lot and find yourself on social media again, at first, don't be too upset at yourself. The goal here is to develop control over your phone and remove the phone's control over you, not just to never look at it again. And if you have spent the last 5 or 10 years, maybe even more, having no discipline when it comes to your phone, you cannot expect to just instantly solve your addiction in 3 days or something. You should be improving as much as you can and always questioning, like, why am I going on here again? But if you forget to ask that question occasionally, it is okay at the beginning. Sometimes though, although you do now have this knowledge, you will still forget about it and start mindlessly scrolling and browsing social media. And if you want to reduce this kind of thing occurring, I would suggest that you should start implementing step number 2, which is to physically limit your access to social media and your phone. Everything that I just said in step number 1 sounds good, but sometimes just sheer willpower is not enough. I've heard people say that if you're addicted to TikTok or something, you should just keep it on your phone and somehow be able to look at it and never open it and just rely on sheer willpower, despite the fact that you've literally been addicted to it for 5 years. People will give this willpower advice, but if you don't have enough of it to resist deleting the app that has been wasting 4 hours of your time every day for years, it would be stupid to just keep it on your phone and never even attempt to break the habit. With that being said, to reduce the amount of willpower that you need, you want to create friction in the way of you just being able to freely scroll on your phone and access it whenever you want. This is stuff like putting color filters on your phone so it's in grayscale and less interesting, making apps shut off at a certain time each night so you don't keep scrolling when you're supposed to be sleeping, using Safari for your social media instead of the apps. I've actually made a whole video about these things and similar ways to limit your screen time, and I will put it up there in the corner so you can go watch it after this one. So after you watch that other video, you can honestly click off now if you want to, but I wanted to yap a little more about why this friction stuff is so helpful and why people with a cooked and non-existent attention span should use them. I've heard people on the internet say that deleting apps and setting time limits and all this stuff is pointless because it's easy to just download them again in a minute, and it's unreasonable to expect that you're never going to use social media again, for instance. And I think that's stupid advice because it would be better to literally never use social media again for the rest of your life than to keep going down the path you have been and scrolling for 4 hours every single day. Obviously, the ultimate goal here is the happy medium of the intentional phone use, but configuring your phone to help achieve that is not stupid. It's exactly what you should do. The awareness of what you're doing, which was step 1, often comes before you increase your willpower to stop opening your phone all the time. So manually adding this friction to your phone experience can really help you out when you literally cannot help but to go and scroll. If you implement those 2 steps effectively, it should help you to reduce your screen time and your scrolling time If you liked what I had to say, you may be interested in my free PDF exploring a couple more dopamine detoxing ideas and strategies and how to implement them. It is the first link in the description. If you sign up for the email list, it will be emailed to you. So thank you for watching. Have a good one.